Welcome to One Acadiana's Candidate Conversation Series. I'm Keely McGivney, and this is Andre Bro here on the team at One Acadiana. We're bringing you candidate conversations so you can get to know folks who are running to represent you for offices across Lafayette Parish.
That's right. And for this conversation, we're joined by Thomas Hooks, candidate for Lafayette City Council, District 4. Thomas, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
We're going to start with the basics. Tell us, who is Thomas Hooks, and tell us a little bit more about your background in the community.
Sure. So I'm from way up north in Opelousas, Louisiana, but came to UL Lafayette and graduated. Married a girl here called Sarah Delahousie Hooks. We have 5 children under the age of 11. We're parishioners at Our Lady of Wisdom. I'm an attorney, a business leader. I've served on the Planning and Zoning Commission. And, if you ask my friends, they would more than likely describe me as a bit of a nerd, which might be an understatement.
Well, great. It's nice to get to know you a little bit more. And I think it leads into the next question that we want to ask is, what inspired you to run for District 4? Why City Council?
Yeah, so a few years back, my career was tugging us to actually leave Lafayette. And my wife and I, we considered that, but at the end of the day, we decided that didn't make sense. Lafayette is home, our family's here, our friends are here, our community's here. We really didn't want to sever those ties. We wanted our kids to grow up with roots. And when we decided, hey, we're going to stay, we also decided we're going to look for opportunities to serve. So that's small things like, bringing friends meals. It could be being more active in our parish. It could be mentoring engaged couples. It's also public service. So like I said, serving on the Planning and Zoning Commission was a big opportunity. And then when this one popped up, it also made sense. I mean, it's local government. It's an institution like our schools, like our churches, that has an impact on our daily lives. So that opportunity to deal with local problems, craft local solutions with our neighbors, that felt important, and it felt like a good opportunity to serve.
Well, let's say you are elected. If you are to take the seat as the District 4 City Councilman, what are some of the near-term priorities you would be looking to address?
And, we've been knocking on a lot of doors and talking to a lot of people, and it's tempting to address all of them. The best advice I've gotten so far is just keep learning and keep trying to understand what are the most important issues and where can we have the biggest impact. So for me, right out the gate, I think it'll be mostly about collaboration. We don't live in a vacuum. The city, the parish, the state, the health of one impacts the health of the rest. And so I really think for me, it's going to be good relationships with the other folks on the city council, those on the parish council, the administration, and our local legislatures, like getting those good relations in place so that we've got a steady foundation for the future. That'll be important to me.
Well, great. And looking ahead, as you think about the office, as you think about the city in the years to come, what are some long-term challenges that you feel the city council needs to be focused on?
Yeah, so boiling it down to probably about 3 things that have been popping up as we've talked to people. Definitely opportunity, infrastructure, and again, collaboration. So on the opportunity side, it's working across the parish, working across the city with government leaders, with business leaders to make sure that folks who want to stay in Lafayette have an opportunity to earn a living here. And, that is more focus on education, more focus on workforce development, and really more focus on making sure Lafayette is an attractive place for businesses that want to relocate here, as well as folks who want to start and grow their businesses here, that they can, and that they will feel successful doing so. The other one is infrastructure. So, I think we've made some great strides over the past few years: roads, bridges, drainage maintenance. It feels like utilities are on a pretty solid footing right now, but I really think we have to keep our eye on the ball there and continue to use our tax dollars wisely. So making sure that we're taking care of what we've got is a big priority. And then again, I really think collaboration is a big deal. Like, we do not live in a vacuum. So the health of the city impacts the health of the parish, impacts the health of the state, and vice versa. So I really think solid relationships across all of those different councils and committees are going to be very important in figuring out how are we going to work together? How are we going to start talking about the future of Lafayette again, and what we want the parish and the city to be, not just for us, but for our children? And, ready to jumpstart that conversation and really looking forward to see how we can make that a reality.
Let's say you're successful as a city councilman and we're successful as an economic development organization, and more people are moving to Lafayette. What would you tell a family that's looking at moving to Lafayette about the city?
Probably to start by ignoring the heat, like not typical, but I would start there. And then once we got past there, I'd really talk about the people and the culture. I mean, we've got some great people here. We have a good thing going on. We work hard, we are rooted in values, and then we really have a good understanding of how to have a legitimate good time. So I would start there because that makes Lafayette a unique place. And it's really the reason that we chose to stay, the reason we chose to raise our kids here, and the reason we hope they decide to stay. The other thing I'd say is momentum. Again, we're knocking on doors, we're meeting with folks, and there's this sense that we're at the point where we're about to turn an important corner. It feels like, the past few years, we've gotten bogged down talking about the past, talking about some disputes, but people really are ready to start talking about the future of Lafayette again. Like, what is our potential and how do we reach it? That's an important conversation, and it's an exciting conversation. It's one that I'm looking forward to being a part of, and I think others will feel the same.
Well, as you said, you're knocking on doors, you're talking to the voters in District 4. Take another minute to speak directly to your voters. Why should they vote for Thomas Hooks for City Council?
Yeah, so really, I think it boils down to, look, I'm doing the work to have the experience and have the qualifications to do the job. I'm an attorney, I'm a business leader. I've done some work with the Planning and Zoning Commission and actually chaired the Planning and Zoning Commission. So have some of that public sector experience and really think it's the knowledge and the skill set to do the job well. Also, as a husband and father of small children, we're invested in the future of Lafayette. We're invested in success. And I think people could trust that I've got the common good at heart.
Well, thank you, Thomas. We truly appreciate you spending the time to help the community get to know you. And on that note, our last question is, how can voters engage with you? How can they get more information on Thomas?
Sure. So there are a few different ways. You can go to the website, vote4hooks.com. That's vote4hooks.com. You can reach us on Facebook, facebook.com/vote4hooks. And then always email thomas@voteforhooks.com.
Wonderful. All right. Thanks, everybody. That was Thomas Hooks, candidate for Lafayette City Council District 4. Thomas, thank you so much again for joining us, and good luck in the fall.
All right. Thanks for having me.